Hi,
Yes.
class. We are Team 1, consisting of Paula Christofi Caldani, Arturo Moreno, and myself, Derek Nelson. And this is our parabola of the Sadhu, and we'll be doing it on organizational culture theory at Amazon. Next slide. This is the agenda that we'll be going over: organizational culture theory, Amazon organizational culture, the strong organizational culture, some videos, the action, and then the summary. Next slide. Organizational culture theory is a set of values the group of people at a particular organization have in common and consists of the four main traits of involvement, consistency, adaptability, and mission. Every organization needs these traits to be set adhered by employees, hopefully, ethically, in order to be truly successful. Next slide. The company of Amazon is a perfect example of how a company needs to establish a good organizational culture to succeed. Slide. When Amazon was first starting to take off and were beginning to gain many different employees, the organizational culture was a pleasant one that many enjoyed working at the company. In the beginning of Amazon, the organizational culture embraced and rewarded many different virtues, like valuing the employees' innovation and risk-taking in order to stay competitive in a huge competitive market. Actually providing the employees the resources they needed in order to be innovative with new ideas and have tolerances with the ideas if they were risky and understood when they would fail and grow because of the failure. As the company began to grow larger and larger to now being one of the biggest companies in the world, it shows that this culture did work. Now, when people start to look at the organizational culture at Amazon, they still see some of the same virtues, but they have now changed for most at the company for the worst. While Amazon still encourages innovation at the company, they now do it in a little different way. On top of encourage employees to be innovative, to grow, they also encourage backstabbing and public humiliation of their coworkers. Many people at the company have been seen crying at their desk, and most usually do not last more than a year there. The culture at Amazon has been slowly becoming more toxic and has come to its worst due to the current worldwide pandemic of COVID-19. Many of the warehouse workers at the Amazon facilities have to work indoors together in somewhat close spaces, which helps spread the virus, and Amazon facilities like this have been a huge part of spreading the disease. Employees have described the environment of the facilities as having dirty air filters and seeing many employees vomiting in the bathrooms and just returning back to work. The organizational culture at Amazon has transformed from giving its employees everything they need to be successful and embracing failure to now employees need to do everything they must do so the company can succeed. Next will be Arturo.
Okay, so to start off my section, I would like to share a quote that says, "To make customers happy, we have to make sure our employees are happy first." And that's what organizational culture is all about. In order for a organization to have strong organizational culture, they need to be employee oriented. So these type of organizations care for their employees. They treat them with dignity and respect, and they set up clear performance standards and goals for the employees to meet. They are also result oriented. Um, they invest more on time and resources to make sure that their employees can excel and achieve. And when they um, do a good job for their work that they be doing, they are rewarded. And they also have multiple leaders, and having multiple leaders are articulate behavior rules, traditions, beliefs, and align with customer needs and strategic direction. They also motivate and provide the resources for employees to grow personally and with the company as well. And here's a video that will show us what a good organizational culture, a strong organizational culture is.
I think it's really important for Zappos to hire people who align with our culture, that our culture fits, because every single hire has the ability to change the culture for the positive or the negative. If you make too many compromises in your hiring decisions and you end up with an imbalance in your culture, then the negative can kind of outweigh the good.
The people that you work with are actually the most important resources in the entire company. It's not the product, it's not technology. So getting to know your people both personally and professionally will lead to not only a better environment, but to better results for Zappos.
People often say, like, do you pay people to be like smiley all the time? Like, no, but we're hopefully creating an environment where employees are helpful and happy. And I think that's just a side effect of our culture.
When people say, well, the core values, as an example you have at Zappos, those could never work in our company. Well, they probably shouldn't work in your company. You need to come up with your own identity. Tony will often get the question at Q&As about work-life balance, and I think he has a really great answer talking about work-life integration. So the idea that if you love what you do and you love who you work with, there's kind of a blurring of the lines of when you're working and when you're not.
We really appreciate and love what is unique about our coworkers. So we all come from different backgrounds and different experiences. And at Zappos, they don't want you to turn anything on. Like, you should just be who you are all the time. So I think the future of Zappos will continue to be rooted in this foundation of these 10 core values, that we will continue to be fiercely passionate about customer service.
Most people want to be communicated to in different ways. People have different strengths and weaknesses. So knowing that you are open and available to them, I think is really key. I guess my hope is that we maintain the current culture that we have and that we can enhance that culture. So we need to find the right mix of folks, basically get the right people on the bus, and hopefully the bus will go the right way.
Okay, just like Derek mentioned, the pandemic has brought an ugly side to Amazon, and this is just an example of a weak culture, organizational culture that they do have.
How many cases we got? How many cases we got?
Now you don't have a mask?
No, we don't have no mask. I have to wear scarves. We don't got no mask. They don't provide us with masks. They say they do, they don't. We don't have the right type of gloves. We don't have latex gloves. We're not in the medical field. They're sugarcoating everything. They're downplaying everything. Somebody needs to be held accountable. They need to take care of their people. We're going to bring the virus to the community. We're not essential. Our help is essential. And if we're not healthy and we're bringing the virus from the community, what good are we doing? There's over 5,000 employees that come in and out this building weekly. Do the math. This virus spread to 2.5 people. Do the math. That's the epic center right there. New York State, New Jersey, 5 barrels come to this building. 5 barrels. They take that 40 bus. They take that subway. We don't know where these people coming from. They hiring every day. 40 people a day. We don't know who's diagnosed or not. It's too late. It's too late. They can't do nothing to stop it. What they should have did was quarantine the building 2 weeks ago, and they didn't do it. So now we got 10 cases in the building that y'all don't even know about, but y'all know about now. Something has to stop, and something will happen. I'm going to City Hall. We're not done here. Today was a cry for help. We did exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to draw attention to Amazon, draw attention to what they're doing really, and we did just that. Today was a success. Today was a win for us. We want to get the governor's attention. Just like Kentucky, the governor had to step in and close the building down. All them people are being paid until April 1st. Why can't we get the same thing here with the same type of building? And we got way more people. This is the largest building in the tri-state, but it's all about the money. It's the highest paid building. So we want to shut down. That's all we want.
So this pandemic has brought an ugly side. It showed an ugly side to the culture that was in Amazon. And in order for Amazon to become a great company to work for, Paula will be providing a action plan that we have to help them with this pandemic.
For Amazon to continue to succeed as a business, they must adhere to their employees' needs and wants first. Their mantra should be that people work for people. If Amazon does not treat their employees with the utmost care and respect, then the trickle-down effect will take into place where employees' workmanship will be subpar and the customer service will be highly affected as well when they are lack of effective employees in the work front. To succeed as a business, they must create a new action plan for the employees safety protocol to face the current pandemic and any future challenges they may experience. Amazon must enforce and provide their warehouse employees with COVID-19 testing every 3 days, since they are a large sum of employees under a closed environment working closely together. With continuous COVID-19 testing for the employees, it will be more effective narrowing it down and knowing if a person has contracted the virus sooner and not be in the circumstance of spreading the virus amongst its employees. Each day when an employee comes into work, their temperature should be taken by a lead or a manager, and if any employee's temperature is over 100 degrees, they should be sent home until their next COVID test comes back negative. It would be more of a controlled environment if they do so. Although it cannot be enforced, Amazon should also provide its employees the option to receive the vaccination as a preventative of the virus if they choose to. With the distribution of the vaccine, the contraction and spread of the virus has significantly and effectively been in control in other places of work. If an employee does test positive and has to quarantine themselves at home, Amazon must also provide 2 weeks pay for the time they will not be working with no ramifications, because their income should not be compromised for an uncontrollable virus that we've all faced this year. To continue to the focus of the safety of its employees, Amazon must also provide a thorough cleaning in all of its buildings, warehouses, and delivery cargo. Every day, 3 to 5 times a day, employees must adhere to a cleaning checklist provided by the corporation to sanitize their place of work and have the manager sign off on the checklist once each task is completed. The checklist must include sanitizing any workspace, restrooms, break rooms, or any objects that are shared amongst the employees. The employees must wear gloves and masks throughout the entirety of their shift, except for when they are on their breaks. They may remove their masks to eat, but only in designated areas where there are only a limited number of people and there is a plexiglass separating them. The masks and gloves should be changed every few hours to avoid any form of contamination as well. And lastly, Amazon must bring in professional help to clean and disinfect all of their properties, including the delivery cargo, every 2 weeks to ensure the safety of their employees while they are at work. The professional cleaners, along with the daily cleanings that are completed by the employees, will ensure a cleaner and safer working environment for the employees at Amazon. Now, although it will be costly, the effectiveness of this protocol will ensure the safety and care of the employees and ensure the business will continue to be operating with the majority of its employees by focusing on their health and safety. Amazon will provide all the necessary tools and supplies to ensure the safety and cleanliness is applied for its employees by providing the cost of the COVID-19 testing, daily sanitizing supplies to maintain a clean environment, masks and gloves sufficient to meet the needs for continuous change throughout a shift, plexiglass to separate any possible spread of germs amongst employees who are to work near each other. And lastly, if an employee does test positive, they will pay them for the 2 weeks they are forced to be quarantined at home. Thank you.
So in summary, organizational culture theory is a set of values that an organization has. And this is important because when employees are happy, then the organization succeeds. And in order for Amazon to be successful again, they must come to an understanding of what the culture is about and what makes their employees happy. And when they they can fully understand what the culture is about, so that they can have a much deeper understanding of what goes on and why it goes on. And to finish our presentation, we would like to leave you with a quote that says, "To win in the marketplace, you must first win in the workplace." Thank you.